Hey there, good morning. Time for a little coffee chat, my second cup. And I want to talk today about the concept of emptiness versus fullness and how we can apply that to our brands and to our businesses. Now, a few weeks ago, I had read Danielle Laporte, one of my favorite thought leaders, about emptiness. Someone had asked her, she said, I feel like I'm going through life and I just feel empty inside. And how many of us often in life feel that, right? We feel disconnected. We feel like we're not sure what our purpose is. But her answer really surprised me. And so I want to share that with you because I think it definitely applies to our personal brand and to our professional lives as well. So she said, emptiness is something that actually people try to achieve on the spiritual journey, right? You want to empty out all the negative. You want to have just this clear space, which really then you can connect with your true self. And I talk about that a lot in branding because I do believe that you want to be authentic and you want to connect with what I call the soul of your brand. And so that's and the more authentic you are, the less you're going to feel like you are marketing yourself. And because marketing and advertising sounds like such a negative thing. And really what it is about connection. So if you are in a place right now and that is your path and you're just feeling very empty, I'd like for you to look at that as an opportunity to say, wow, I have emptied out and now I have all this space to fill it with wonderful things. And so it's great because you've got this, so first of all, the self-awareness to know what you're feeling and where you are in your journey right now. And then secondly, to say, I'm going to, in our hunter, right, Artemis metaphor here, that I'm going to choose all the right arrows to load my quiver, to take on my journey, and I'm going to be very intentional about the path that I take and about the targets that I'm going to choose. And so that's where emptiness can be a really good thing. Now, the opposite of that, because I was feeling really empty a couple of years ago, and I made a lot of changes. I let go of a lot of things that weren't feeling like they fit in my life anymore, and that I felt like, any area that I felt like I was pretending in. And so really look at that and look at your feelings and know, what do you need to let go of that's not working in your personal and professional life anymore. And so with that, then the opposite of that is fullness. Too much clutter, too much busyness. And so sometimes we go back and forth feeling, when I feel empty, now I feel full. And for entrepreneurs, we all know we have that saying, feast or famine. So I had a famine couple of months, and it's very scary when you're an entrepreneur and your revenue's down, and because it seems like that's the time that you get hit with, oh, well, now it's back to school time, it's college tuition time, it's all these different things. And so what we want to look at then is, obviously we want to store enough on our journey that we have enough to sustain us during those low times. And then, but we also want to make sure that we're always planning for the future. So those two things can keep us from feeling really anxious and down about ourselves and our businesses when you do have those emptier, lower times in your business. So when you're feeling too full, then, okay, let's go back here and think about entrepreneurs and how you are wearing so many different hats. And I belong to what's called the Collective. It's a co-share space up in Edmond, in this little suburb of Oklahoma City. And we have a tribe talk once a month. And so all of us share kind of what's going on in our businesses and if we need any advice, because all these are real smart women. And this space is a woman-owned and woman-shared space. And so I think we're mostly all moms in there. And so we do have a lot of those same struggles. And what I'm hearing and what I hear from a lot of my clients out there is that you have lost your passion. You've lost your way. And so again, so for those people, it's too full. You've packed so many things on your journey, you as the hunter, that you're sluggish. It's like you're pulling around, you're pulling back behind you a concrete block. And so for those people, you have to stop and say, I've got to unload, right? I've got to declutter. And, I think too about the analogy of, making yourself create a habit of making yourself purge. And so one of the many things I love about my fiance, and I love saying that, is that he purges his fridge every week. And honestly, I don't know, that never occurred to me. I've never done that. So on trash day, the night before the trash comes, he goes through the fridge. And he's like, okay, what's expired? What am I for sure not going to eat? All that. So his fridge is always clean, and I love that. And same thing with the pantry. And that has always been a source of frustration personally in my life, that I felt like the fridge was a disaster, the pantry was a disaster. I never felt like I had control of it. And so what a simple habit. So we've talked before in one of the on my podcast, if you go to iTunes, One Bow Many Arrows podcast, one of the books that I reviewed and discussed is Better Than Before, and it's on making and breaking habits. So break the bad ones and get some good ones. So for me, that's now a goal, is that I'm going to purge. We don't live together yet full time, and so I've got to start doing that in my house. And it makes me feel so much better when I know that everything in there is, ready, is safe to eat, because it hasn't expired, and it just takes like 10 minutes. And so for all of you who are feeling too full and your life is too cluttered and it's too busy and you've lost your passion, which you can lose your passion from that state of emptiness or the state of fullness. But do recognize that and then create a plan. And here we are. I'm uploading this video here in early November, and it's a great time to plan for next year. So here is my 2017 planner, and I have my Emily Lee planner still from this year. And so really what I'm doing is I'm working in two planners at once, and I'm also doing a lot of marketing plans for my clients. And so I would encourage you, don't wait until December to do that. You're going to, so do it right now in these weeks coming up to Thanksgiving. And if you have some time off, again, make that a habit to plan for your business, to plan for your goals, and give yourself incentives. Incentives are awesome. If you are very self-aware and you know your strengths, if you know your personality type, if you know your love languages, all those things that we've talked about here in the One Bow Many Arrows program, then you are going to set yourself up for success. And that's what it means to be a real confident hunter. And you're going to be able to hit your goals, and you're constantly sharpening your aim because you're giving yourself these tools. And my last workshop here in Oklahoma City is November 10th at the Collective in Edmond. So I encourage all of you who are entrepreneurs or thinking about starting a business, or even if but if you work for a company and you are in charge of projects, it's a great idea to do your marketing plan for yourself to help that company grow, because that's making sure that your personal brand is on point and that you're continuing to grow. And so I would encourage all of you to do that. Now, for those of you who are not in Oklahoma City, I will still offer this program to you. Email me, use my contact form, and say that you would like the e-course for this. And what I'm doing for that is creating a special packet, and then we will have some one-on-one back and forth, so that you can still use these tools to help you plan for 2017. So I'm really excited about that. So really think about that emptiness and fullness and where you are right now, and to understand how you're going to get through those times as they occur. We have, one life, one brand, but so many choices. So this all goes back to making the smartest choices for the situation that we're in right then. And so that you can continue to feel peace, happiness, and passion about your brand, And by doing that, you can engage your tribe and really use those people to help you with your goals. And so that's one of the many things that I love about working with clients, is that I can help them with the areas that they need help with and help them look at areas where they can go out and get other people to help them achieve their goals too. We do not need to do it all alone. And sometimes our burden is too heavy, and that makes our journey, our packs are too heavy, and we are not going to be able to we can't see the forest for the trees because we are just exhausted, right? And so I hope that this message resonated with you, and I'm going to stick it on my blog as well, molinalot.com, and I will talk to you all soon.